Hi everyone! So today I thought that we could talk about some of the pets that I've had. So I don't know about you, but pets have always been a really important part of my life. I can't remember a time when we haven't had at least one animal in our house or a house that I've lived in. So the first animal I ever had, we had a family dog named Abby, and she was a Samoyed. She's this big, white, fluffy dog, and we got her when I was still a kid. The way we ended up with Abby is my mom saw an ad in a newspaper saying that she was being given away for free. So my mom went and checked her out to see if she was okay, like why were they giving her away for free. Basically, she came, as far as we know, she came from a pound, and this family got her, and she ended up being just too big for their house, and it just wasn't a good placement. So my mom got her for free, and we named her Abby, and she was a lot of fun. I remember we had a big backyard, and it had one of those big concrete wells in the back, and I used to run around and she would chase me, and then I would jump up on top of the well and where she couldn't get me. And then when she walked away, I would run off and she would chase me again. She also used to do this thing where, so she had a lot of fur. So in the summer, she would just die. And then winter came, and my parents used to say that she used to think that someone turned on the air conditioning for her. She would spend her winter either outside in the snow, just lying in it and eating all the snow, or she would come inside when she got too cold, and she would lean against the baseboard heaters, which was electric heating, and she would end up with these brown singe marks all across her fur from lying against them. And then she would get too hot and she would go back out in the snow, and she just went back and forth all winter long. Hi, so it's me from the future. So I just realized I didn't talk about my rabbit at all. I don't know how I managed that. I feel so bad. So anyway, on my 7th birthday, I had opened all my presents already, and my parents told me to cover my eyes because they had another surprise present for me. So I covered my eyes, but I kind of peeked through a little bit, and I could see them carrying this, I thought it was a laundry basket up the stairs, and my parents told me I can uncover my eyes, and I look out, and there's this cage with a rabbit in it, and I just about lost my mind. That was amazing. That was the best birthday present I ever got. And so my parents asked me what I wanted to call her. And I don't remember if it was right away, if it took me a while, but somehow I got stuck on the name of Bun-bun. And that was her name. And I remember my aunt specifically coming up to me and asking, "Are you sure you don't want to call her something like Babs Bunny, like from Tiny Toon Adventures?" And I said, nope, I had made up my mind. Her name was Bun-bun. And this is the only picture I have of her. My little Bun-bun. So we lived out in the country, and a lot of our friends had farms. And one of them, their daughter, they had like a sheep farm. And their daughter was breeding guinea pigs and selling them. And she just happened to have a bunch of baby guinea pigs for sale. So my sister and our neighbor, they both got a guinea pig. And my sister got this this kind of light beige colored one, and underneath its fur it was all white, and so she called him Twinkie because he was like creamy, like because he was like a light brown, and then when you lifted his fur it looked like he had cream filling. And he had this pink leash that we could bring him outside on. Every time my sister tried to put the leash on him, he would freak out. I don't know why he freaked out so much. He enjoyed being outside. He got to eat grass. It was great. He just hated wearing the leash. So at some point after that, my brother got a hamster, and he's 5 years younger than me. So I'm sitting there with him looking at his little hamster, and he says, "I don't know what I should call it." And I had been watching America's Funniest Home Videos, and one of the hosts was called Daisy Fuentes. And I said to him, "Why don't you call her Daisy? Daisy Fuentes." And it stuck. So he had this fluffy hamster in his room called Daisy Fuentes. She was pretty cool because she used to do things like she would climb up the bars and hang off of the ceiling And she had a wheel that she would go on all night. And at one point she got a little heavy, and in the middle of the night she was leaning against the door on the side of the cage, and it popped open and she got out and ended up in his closet. And because hamsters don't live as long as like rabbits or guinea pigs, my brother got to get another hamster. So the second one I think he called Squeaker, I think. I didn't like that one because the day he brought it home, I was holding it in my hand and it bit my finger, and things were never really good between us after that. She mostly just sat in his room and was the decoration that I saw there. At some point during this time, my mom went out and found this little Becion frise and fell in love with him and brought him home, and we decided to call him Jessie. And Jessie was my little baby. He would just melt in my arms. I just cuddled with him. I loved him so much. He was just such a little baby. I loved his little nose. He had like a black nose, but it was kind of faded to brown. And we used to say that he licked all the paint off. So one day when my sister and I were shopping with my mom, we decided to go into the pet store because, you know, we love animals. So in the bottom glass compartment, there was a group of puppies, and they were all short hair dogs, but put in with them was this fluffy little thing, and I decided that I wanted to call him Gus Gus. So the whole time we're in the store, I'm like, we're gonna get Gus Gus, we're gonna bring him home, he's gonna be best friends with Jessie. And we joked about it the whole time we were at the mall. And what do you know, a few days later, my mom and dad both go to the mall, pick him up and bring him home. So that's how we ended up with Nunzio. I wanted to call him Gus Gus, but I settled for Nunzio. So we got that name from Dharma and Greg. One of their dogs was named Nunzio. So we got Nunzio on around Jessie's 2nd birthday. So we said it was Jessie's birthday present. And we bring this puppy home, and it's biting Jessie, and it's running all over the place, and it goes over to the water dish, and it used to do this thing where he would step on the side and the dish would fly and everything would go all over the place. And this happened right in front of Jessie, and he just looked up at us with this pathetic look, just like, I can't believe you got me this for my birthday. I used to say that Nunzio looked like the Beast from Beauty and the Beast because his bottom eye teeth would stick out, so he looked like he had fangs. So after Jessie died, it was just my parents and my brother at home. My sister and I had moved out at that point. And they just had Nunzio, and they felt like they wanted to get another dog. So this time they did a bunch of research, and they decided that they wanted to get a really good dog that was going to last them a really long time and have really good quality of life. So they went to a Samoyed breeder because they had a Samoyed before, and they knew that they loved that type of dog. And this breeder came to their house, and I wasn't there when this happened, which was super disappointing. But the breeder brought this whole box full of puppies and just like dumped them out on the grass, and my family just spent the day playing with Samoyed puppies, and I didn't get to. And they ended up picking up this little girl, and they called her Juno, and she's the dog that is still at my parents' house, and she is super sweet and just a giant fluff ball. When I was little, all I wanted was to have a cat. I wanted a cat more than anything in the world, but I couldn't get one because my mom was super allergic. So we had dogs and we had other pets. Like, it's not like I didn't have pets at home. So when I moved out, I was finally given the opportunity to get a cat. So there's this program called Friends of Abandoned Pets, and they take in animals. It's a no-kill, not shelter, because they foster the animals out in different homes. So my cat, when they found her, she wasn't even a year old yet. I think she was like 6 months old, and she had kittens, which is insane. And she was skinny, like just bones, like you could just feel, you pet her and it was just bones. So they found her, they brought her in, and they adopted out the kittens, and they fattened her Kora up, and I took her home. So I'll see if I can get her to bring her in the video. She's not going to be too happy about this because I think she's sleeping right now, but let me just try just one sec. So this is Kora, and this is my little ginger kitty. Yeah, she was sleeping in my closet, so I don't think she's too happy right now, but she's doing okay. She hasn't run away yet. And she's been pretty happy that it's sunny out, so that's good. I'm gonna let her go now. I hope you liked my video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again later. Bye!